entertainment and all the activities we have on board, because I go and I try to watch as many times as I can. Thank you for all that. My name is Marek. I come from Poland, as you hopefully know by now. It's the end of the cruise, so you must have heard me already. And I love being here. It's been 34 years at sea altogether. Wow. When I graduated from Maritime Academy back home in Poland, I worked on cargo ships, being tankers, container ships, roll-on, roll-off, and a few others. I always wanted to try something different, and I didn't like any of it. So after 6.5 years of doing cargo ships and being with 15 to 20 boring guys on board every single one of those ships, I decided to do something different, and I joined cruise ships almost 28 years ago. When I joined the cruise ships, my first was ex-Song of Norway, our very first royal ship that was sold to the small British company that doesn't exist anymore. And that company ran 5 ships altogether, 3 of them being ex-royal. And it was okay to start with, but the ships were aging fast, and I didn't want to experience any really funny things as we did experience with those old ships, like running without air conditioning in the Caribbean, or having no sanitary system running for a couple of days. And I thought this was the time to leave, so I did leave and joined the Royal Caribbean family in 2004. So it's my 21st year with the royal family, and I'm just about to finish my year on the Odyssey with a wonderful team of 1,626 this cruise, and I hope you like it here. That's a few words from me. Thank you. And now, before we go to Q&A session, we have a short video to present to you. The video starts with the areas you hopefully know already after 10 days on board, and then we're going to take you to the areas you don't go to. The video starts with the naming ceremony. Our godmother, Erin Brown, is the lady in red, with Captain Sindra on the far right, Michael Bailey, and then Richard Fain all together at the naming ceremony when we broke a big bottle of champagne starting the ship in 2021. Now we're going to go behind the scenes and go to the areas that you don't normally see. Thank you. And this is where we take to some of these places those on all access to. This is the layout of the bridge, deck 12 all the way in the front of the ship, and we have people up there. So many ask me every single cruise, who's driving the boat, yeah? And we all know it's not a boat, so I'll try not to take it personally. But this is the man behind the wheel. If we need to do the hand steering, the guys rotate every 4 hours. Right now we're on autopilot on a straight line, and the man who takes the wheel in case needed is still on the bridge, together with the bridge officers on the left. As you can see in the cockpit, their job is to make sure we adjust the speed and monitor the traffic, rotating every 4 hours. They have, of course, electronic navigation systems, speed controls, and the radars to monitor what's going on, who's coming our way. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of traffic around here. although I did see one guy this morning. These are the speed and movement controls in the cockpit. We have the station on the bridge that allows us to communicate with the outside world, to receive safety messages, to transmit any of them if we had to, and bridge officers man that station too. Something we call Safety Command Center is the place where we gather if we do our crew exercises. Now, we are on the bridge wing, again, controls of the ship's movement. It's all hands-on when we do docking and undocking, no computers docking or undocking. This is the view from the bridge wing with the other cruise line we don't talk about on the other side of the dock. We do it when we dock and then pull the ship in and out. Some ships have 3 propellers and then 1 in the middle. This is not our video. We were finishing the ship at the end of pandemic, so we could not afford the 3rd one. We have 2 propellers and we're good enough with a couple of them. At the forward part of the ship we have 4 bow thrusters, very powerful. Those of you who live on top of them probably know it already, because when we dock and undock, we make you shake. I think when we use them, we normally features that we love, azipods, where we can rotate the props any direction. This is our underwater wing stabilizer. We have 1 on either side. They allow us to reduce the movement from side to side in rough seas. They work pretty well, this cruise, I have to say, and they do the job, but they don't stop all the movement, as you can imagine. We are now in the engine control room. Engineer on watch is monitoring the screens, pretending to be very busy. A lot of screens, as you can see, and I have no clue what they say, but these guys have a lot of items to supervise and monitor, being obviously the propulsion, air conditioning, electricity on board, and water production, waste processing, and a lot of other things that are under their supervision, which is too many for me. That's why I went to study navigation, not engineering. But we appreciate these guys a lot, and some of them sit in the engine control room. The others will be down in the engine spaces, and this is where we are right now. As you can see, number 2 in the middle of the screen on the right now, this is one of our diesel generators. 4 of them produce electricity, 95,000 horsepower altogether, and they run pretty well. We never run 4 unless we have to, because it costs a lot. And of course, the engineers, in addition to propulsion, they run the water production, and as I said, waste processing as well. Steam is being produced also by the engines and then by the engineers down there. That the steam goes to galleys and the laundry. This is where we are right now. Laundry team down on deck 0 and below does a great job. We are now on deck number 2, which is our crew corridor called the I-95. It goes from one end to the other, and we have different things along this corridor. One of them being incinerator room, where we separate the garbage, and you can see that we have different buckets to collect the items, crush them, compact them, and lend them to the shoreside vendors, who then process it. Whatever can be burned on board is burned inside the incinerator room. If we cannot burn it, we'll lend it also to the shoreside vendors, and they will deal with it. Walking along I-95, we are now in medical center in the middle of the ship. One of our doctors is typing whatever information that they serve you, our guests, of course, and then the crew as well, if they need any attention. They also do for hotel members of our team on board. They do medical certification every couple of years, and that's quite extensive. As you can see, there's a lot of tests being done, including the heart check, and the guy doesn't look too happy being wired, but I was told he passed that test as well. And this is not any longer a medical facility, as you may imagine. We are now in the workshops, and we have an army of people called plumbers, upholsterers, repairmen, and these guys report to hotel and maintenance manager, fixing things that need fixing while we're out at sea. As you can imagine, we can't call people from outside, so we have to deal with a lot of it ourselves. We are now still on deck number 2 in a crew Walmart, where we have necessities on the left, and On the right, you got cookies, chips, and all other unhealthy stuff. Very popular, obviously. This is our crew windjammer, where we serve the food still on deck number 2. And the food is served 24/7. The guys are doing a great job. They're providing the food all day long because we have teams working at night, and they also need to have something. We are now in one of the galleys. We're a large group of different chefs and pastry cooks, bakers, butchers, and all the rest of them produce everything we then enjoy. Some of it is not maybe that healthy. The healthy plate, boring plate, looks like this. But we all love something different than that from time to time, and this is what the guys do all day long. And after eating all that, a couple of crew members out of 1626 go to the crew gym and burn it off. The others will enjoy the crew bar or the crew activities that we produce for them, or just do their own thing, playing the pool, playing PlayStation, table tennis. We have crew pub, crew disco as well, and we have a crew coffee place too, where daytime we serve tea, coffee, and other non-alcoholic beverages. At nighttime, whatever is in the fridge is available to the crew as well. All the way to the front of the ship, we have the open deck smoking section for the crew, and they enjoy it until today. From tonight, they're not going to enjoy it anymore, of course, because it's going to be too cold. And non-smoking section, nobody there. This is a slide showing us how cruise industry has developed. Titanic on the right of the side. The Icon, our newest class, is on the left. You can see the size difference and the number of people, and we don't go down. We stay afloat, that's for sure. We are well advanced technology. This could be the future of the cruising. If we run out of ports to go to, maybe we'll go to any galaxies, I don't know. This is the history of now 55 years of Royal Caribbean, Song of Norway being the first one, Icon class being the most recent. You know that Star of the Seas, following the Icon of the Seas, is coming out this year. And of course, there's going to be more ships being built. There's more Icon class. And we have something called Discovery class coming out in a few years from now. This was, in the past, our deluxe stateroom. It used to be fancy, but of course, if we tried to sell this as fancy, we wouldn't sell too many. So we're having something like that on our ships. Although this very ship, Odyssey, doesn't have the piano. I don't know what happened. Maybe they forgot to deliver, or the people requested not to have it. But the room looks beautiful, and you've got the upper deck with the bedroom there, and then lower room that you can organize quite a big party in there. So these are the few shots of the areas that you don't normally go to, and now hopefully you are ready for our Q&A session. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the captain right there. No notes. Come on, how about that?